You gay too?
Me? No.
I just assumed. You're over 30. You've never been married. There's no man in your life.
Oh, honey, I'm not gay. I'm just pathetic.
That was a scene from the popular 90s sitcom The Nanny, a comedy that really launched actress Fran Drescher's career. Well, Fran Drescher is back right now, back in action.
Happily Divorced is the new TV comedy. It's about a woman who finds out that after 18 years of marriage, her husband is gay.
All right, so wait a minute here before you jump off this cliff. How do you know this isn't some midlife crisis thing? I mean, you've never even been with a man. Trust me, it's not that great.
Joining us now, the whole thing is really that funny. Joining us now, Fran Drescher, the creator and co-executive producer of Happily Divorced. Welcome. You're happily doing Happily Divorced. Tell us the inspiration for this project.
You know, excuse me, I'm losing my voice from all the talk shows I'm doing. I actually was inspired by my own life because my ex-husband came out. So,
and were you just as shocked as your TV version of yourself?
No. He didn't come out until after we were divorced. I had already survived cancer. It was like, you know, what could you possibly say?
And you guys are still good friends to this day, right?
Well, you know, that was one of the silver linings of my cancer survival because he actually did not want the divorce. He was very upset with me. And after the show ended, he moved to New York. And then he got a call from our manager that I had cancer. And in that moment, all of the anger melted away and all that was left was the love. And we've been building our friendship ever since. And our manager, in fact, was the one that very wisely advised us to not throw away all those years that we had built together, all that time that we had invested, and all that love that we had shared. Sometimes people maybe weren't meant to be married, but they were meant to be something else with each other.
Right.
And we put as much work into having a successful divorce as we did trying to have a successful marriage. And it takes that kind of dedication, but as a result of that, we're now the best of friends. We've reinvented the relationship. It sits on another shelf in our life.
That's great.
And we thought that this was a very fresh relationship to explore for a new television series.
Now, has anybody come to you and said, this happened to me? I mean, is this at all common?
When the Spouse comes out is becoming quite phenomenally common now. And I think it's because we're living in a time where people feel like they want to live an authentic life, they want to be true to themselves, and they want to be happy. So that's a very positive cultural shift. And I think that coupled with that, the couple in the show, which of course didn't happen with us, but they, because of the tough economic times, can't seem to sell the house and can't afford to live separately until they do. So they're living as roommates post-divorce.
That really
I
happens
know
to
at least
people.
3 couples that's happened to.
Yep.
So, you know, and one of the things, I mean, it's interesting, you clearly were able to find the humor in it. I mean, you were actually just telling this story anecdotally, and, you know, creators were like, we want this as the sitcom. There are a lot of people who say, wait a minute, I mean, you were very young when you got married, right? You were just 21 years old.
21, yeah.
And there are people that say, how did you not know? How do you, I mean, did you know or did you not know that your husband was gay?
Well, you know, hindsight's always 20/20, and the character on the show is always saying, how did I not know? But, you know, because then you start to connect the dots. But at the time, you have to take into consideration, A, we met when we were 15, so there wasn't a lot of experience preceding that. We were the best of friends. Creatively, we were always been very symbiotic. And I kind of thought that he was metrosexual.
Right.
Which was coming into vogue when we were together. And also, you know, he did have a very controlling personality. So when he would tell me what to wear or stuff, you know, I just kind of chalked it off to that. But, you know, in hindsight, he did, I guess, I mean, if you met him, he doesn't seem gay in a way that's very noticeable. But a lot of his interests are, you know, kind of...
And all of this is fodder for the show.
Yes, absolutely. And also the journey that we both took, because having been with each other since we were 15, you know, I really had never been a woman single dating.
Right.
And for him to integrate into the gay community as a middle-aged man who basically knew how to be a married man better than anything else. That's the interesting journey that the two of us take in the series, but while we're still forced to live together. So falling into old patterns of being like a married couple comes very natural to the couple on the show. And so that's going to be the arc that the series takes for the characters, and the global message of the show is love is love.
That's it. That's a great message.
And you also wrote a book, Cancer Schmancer. You're very active in your cancer charity, surviving.
Yes.
Is it 8 years now, cancer free?
No, actually, it's Tuesday will be 11 years.
11 years.
Congratulations.
Wow,
That's great.
And we have a big event in East Hamptons this Sunday. People can find out more about Cancer Schmancer on cancerschmancer.org. We're doing fantastic things. You know, we're all about early detection and transforming from being a patient into a medical consumer.
Right. So because you were misdiagnosed, I mean, for 2 years they couldn't figure out what was wrong with you.
2 years and 8 doctors. I was misdiagnosed before ultimately being diagnosed with uterine cancer. I get in the stirrups more times than Roy Rogers.
Okay, that'll be a perfect opportunity. Fran Drescher, great to have you here. Congratulations. Thanks for telling the great story. Happily Divorced is the name of the comedy.
It's 49 minutes after the hour.